What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video, and for my next Quentin Tarentino film that I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to talk about the film that came after Death Proof for Tarantino. Came out in 2009. It was the first rated R movie I ever saw in theaters. So it has that distinction for me personally. So the movie that I'm going to be talking about is Inglourious Basterds. So this movie stars a complete ensemble cast. Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, Diane Krueger, Michael Fassbender, Melanie Laurent. Brad Pitt's obviously a big superstar. Christoph Waltz has been in some good movies and all that. I've raved about Christoph Waltz and how good he is. Diane Krueger's a name that's been in... She's been in some movies. The ones most notably for me are the National Treasure movies. And Michael Fassbender's been in a lot of stuff. Now, this role here was before Fassbender kind of hit it big. He's up for an Academy Award this year for the movie Steve Jobs. Which he has a very good chance of winning, by the way, because a lot of people think that he will win it. So, also some people, some little people in the movie, Eli Roth, Sam Jackson does a cameo in this movie. Sam Jackson appears at this point in his... He was in Pulp Fiction, he was in Jackie Brown, he was in Kill Bill Volume 2. I consider that one movie anyway. So Inglourious Basterds is the fourth movie that Jackson's appeared in a Tarantino film. He appears in later films too. I'll talk about those later. In future videos. Harvey Keitel, who is another Tarantino regular, he's uncredited. So these two guys, big Tarantino collaborators, they're both uncredited in this film. So without further ado, I'm going to get into what the film is about. Now, this is a fictional story. This is a completely fictional World War II telling by Tarantino. Something big happens in the film that is very historically inaccurate, and it tells you automatically, if you're a big history buff and all that sort of thing, that this movie is very much fictional. That's for sure. This movie was made as it serves as a kind of revenge film. Definitely a revenge film and things like that. So it concerns two people, or two groups of people. Well, first of all, the Inglourious Basterds themselves are Nazi hunters. That's how Brad Pitt calls them his character calls them in the movie, Nazis. The Inglourious Basterds are Nazi-killing Jewish soldiers who do exactly what I just said. They go out and they kill Nazi soldiers. They are very they're very revenge-oriented, and it is something there. Now they're trying to... There's an event going on at a movie theater in Paris, France. There's a big movie event coming on. It's a propaganda film for the Germans themselves, for the war, to try to boost morale. And it's about this soldier who snipes down hundreds and hundreds of enemy soldiers. 250 soldiers, actually, as I see it on the plot line here. So the Inglourious Basterds are trying to plan to destroy the theater, burn it down, basically. to really retaliate against the Germans, because they realize a lot of high-ranking German dignitaries are going to be there. And this would be the big coup. This would be the big blow to the Nazi morale. While that's going on, while the Inglourious Basterds are planning it, they're unaware that this theater owner, the person who owns the theater, who is Jewish herself, who came from a Jewish family that the Germans, the Jewish family that helped other Jewish people, actually French. She's this French girl who runs the cinema. Her family aided and abetted Jewish people during the war and all that in France, hid them and all that sort of thing. So she runs the cinema, and she knows that there are a lot of German dignitaries and all that attending her cinema, obviously. So she makes the plan to blow up the cinema. And so that is pretty much your main plot, the main gist of the story. There are two separate plots to destroy a theater, to destroy a big theater and all that. The Inglourious Basterds get help from the British soldiers. The British get in on this. So pretty much the main Allied nations are involved in trying to destroy Nazi morale. And so there you go. That's pretty much the big thing of the big story in the film. So, another one of the big casting things that's very kind of surprising. I had known about this, but Mike Myers, comedian Mike Myers, best known for Austin Powers, best known for Wayne's World, for Shrek. He starred in this movie in a short little one-scener. Yeah, he was only in one scene, but he was pretty good. So, speaking of characterization, there are no weak links in this movie character-wise. Talking about the big players, Diane Krueger was good. I really enjoyed Diane Krueger's performance in the movie. She does a very good job. Michael Fassbender, he does a nice job. This is one of the movies probably where he got some recognition, but he deserved it. He was good in the movie. The various members of the Inglourious Basterds, they were all good in their roles. Melanie Laurent, who plays the French girl who owns the cinema. Laurent is very captivating. She's good in the film and all that. There's an early appearance by French actress Léa Seydoux, who probably, I've talked about her before. She was in the Bond movie Spectre, which I reviewed, and she was the Bond girl. And so she was in it. Like I said, Sam Jackson, Harvey Keitel appeared in the movie in uncredited roles. But really the two guys, for me, who stole the show in Inglourious Basterds, Brad Pitt as the leader of the Inglourious Basterds, he was phenomenal in this role. He just took to this Tarantino movie and went off with it. He was great. But the one guy who was the best character in the movie was Christoph Waltz. He was incredible as the German colonel. He's a German security officer, SS colonel, who is the bad guy in the movie, definitely, with very weird intentions, as it turns out. Very twisted intentions and all that sort of thing. He is very... he's a bad guy, definitely. And, my cat's trying to get into the But anyway, he was watching Inglourious Basterds with me. He liked it. He liked the movie. I think he was watching it with me. He enjoyed it. But, say hi to the camera, Flashy. Anyway. So anyway, Christoph Waltz, the best part of the film for sure. He won the Academy Award in this movie for Best Supporting Actor, which he wholeheartedly deserved. Now I didn't see any of the other candidates for the award, so I can't really say much. But he wanted another appearance. So based on the fact that he won the Academy Award, I can only really say that he deserved it. He was awesome as the villain. I thought he was. I mean, with Christoph Waltz, he was captivating. He was awesome as the main villain, Inspector. He was in another Tarantino movie that I'll be talking about, and so I mean, he was awesome. And the movie overall, I love this movie. It is typical Tarantino, non-linear storytelling, just a lot of dialogue between all the characters that just interests you. It just pulls you into the movie, and it goes somewhere. If you'll remember, I reviewed Death Proof, and I thought that movie was disappointing because a lot of that dialogue between the characters, it just didn't go anywhere, and it was unnecessary dialogue, kind of not really boring dialogue, but just not very intriguing to me anyway. This dialogue is very intriguing, and it's great. Another guy I have to mention who was good in the movie was Daniel Bruhl, a German actor. I think he's a German actor, as the guy who, he serves a very important role in this film. So, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about this movie, but the fact is, it is a great Tarantino movie. It's one of his best, for sure, and maybe it'll be ranked in the top of my list for best Tarantino movies, because I'm going to actually once I review all the films and all that, I'm going to be doing a top 8, because Tarantino's done 8 films. I'm going to be doing a top 8 Tarantino films, in my opinion. So look out for that video, definitely. But overall, I love this movie. Just typical Tarantino form, and he does it perfectly. He really does. And the performances of Brad Pitt and Christoph Waltz are great. And the other characters, too, do very good jobs. So I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5 stars. It's a great movie, and I would definitely recommend it. 100%, 110%. So there you go. That is my review on Inglourious Basterds. Stay tuned for my next Tarantino movie review and my next video. D-Rock 1992 out.